Welcome back to the sack on a frigid Saturday. Slug 'em back, slug 'em down, suck it up Saturday. Here in the midst, frosty sack, the redoubtable one himself, Tom Izzo, highly questionable, and RJ Miliaccio. Segment 3, 2 cents with Tommy. And as rumor has it, this might be 12 cents, America.
No, it typically is more than 2 cents.
So I'm going to give my man the floor, because you know it's all about me. And
That's right.
And let him have his, whatever this is going to be.
We'll see if you interrupt me by my second sentence.
Just so you know, I got a fresh cup of the good stuff here whenever I get on this rattler.
I think you're going to like this. Because for my first cent that I share, we go to the wild world of the National Hockey League. One sport I rarely get involved in. But today I have my sights aimed on the NHL itself.
Oh, Lord.
Because the other night, the goalie for the Minnesota Wild was fined when he wore a Native American themed designed helmet in warm-ups. He was fined, okay? Because it was Native American night at the fucking Minnesota Wild, facility, whatever the stadium's called. So in warm-ups, and I think this guy's a backup goalie. I don't even think he's a starter because he didn't play in the game. But he got a Native American artist to design, to do an artistic design on his helmet. And he did that to honor his wife because she is a Native Canadian. So she is, she's an indigenous person, but from Canada. So he, wore this during warm-ups, and the NHL fined him. And I just thought that was so fucking weak. That you're going to have a themed night, but the players can't get involved in it. Like, that is the biggest case of weak sauce I've ever heard, where you are trying to placate both sides of the fence. Because there's a certain sect of America that doesn't want any type of culture celebrated because they think diversity is a bad thing. And then there's another sect of the country that thinks it's okay that there's differences and it's okay that we celebrate them. So I tried to figure out, why did they fine him for this? It turns out that last year a bunch of players were complaining about Pride Night and claiming religious reasons because I guess that, all the teams were having Pride Nights and they didn't want to wear Pride jerseys or whatever the fuck during warm-ups because of religious beliefs. So because of these complaining asses, and to me, prejudice complainers, okay, now you say, okay, nobody can wear anything. So on Military Appreciation Night, you better not have a fucking, camouflage mask to honor the troops, right? And they've made a couple exceptions apparently, so they've let some players put rainbow tape on their stick on Pride Night. Ooh, thank you so much. And I just think that's fucking weak. That as an organization or an entity, I don't know how you describe the NHL, they were trying to celebrate different people, different types of people, different heritages, different cultures. And they did that. People in their league complained about it. Instead of saying, fuck off, we want to appeal to everybody, and we want to be a sport that anybody feels welcome in, they said, no, you know what? You guys are right. Let's go back to just, sterile as can be. Everybody wears their team colors, and we shut the fuck up. If you do anything, even in warm-ups, we'll fine you. I think that's weak. That's my first cent. What do you think?
Was he fined by the team or the league?
By the league, by the NHL. I'm sure the team didn't give a fuck. That's weak.
That is a bad black eye, if that's true.
It's true.
That is incredibly.
I can send you the article on ESPN.
I'm not doubting. I'm just saying that. Wow.
Isn't that weak?
That's weak. It's fucking racism.
Yeah.
It's not weak. It's fucking racism.
Weak
was the Celtics in the third quarter. That was weak. This is racism. Okay? This is flat out effing racism. If this is fucking true, I have no reason why I'm making this up. I'm just saying that's fucking racism. Let's call it what it is. We don't tap dance around shit here on IDT. We're not going to sit there and, well, that would be a politically... No, that's fucking racism. That's what that is. And honestly, kudos to the hockey team for trying to do this, because to me that is a good thing to do.
What was the hockey player?
Yeah, I mean the hockey player's
Well, he was trying to honor his
It's
wife.
his wife.
Yeah.
I mean, what the, are you? Wow.
But I think that's
Whoever-
probably why the team said, fine, go. And he
whoever-
wore him warm-ups.
Whoever made that call, this is why you wear a helmet, because you get hit in the head with too many pucks. And this is, or they're blatantly racist. It's one or the other. So, and I don't think they're stupid. I think they're racist, which is stupid, obviously. But it's a whole different.
And it goes beyond racist because it seems like this was all spawned not by racial discrimination, but discrimination of sexual orientation. You know,
yeah, that-
which
yes.
because guys didn't want to wear Pride Night shirts. I mean,
yeah.
I'm so sick of this bullshit hiding behind your religion to hate somebody. That's just weak.
You know, and that, again, I keep telling
It's fucking weak.
You know the one class that America flunks, all of us, history. Every fucking one of you has flunked history, because if you study that, okay, then you would know that that's why all the shit that's happened has happened because of that shit. And religion, when it comes to religion, more people have died in the name of religion than anything else in the history of the human race. Of course, you flunked history, so you don't know that, okay? But to me, for someone to hide behind that is
It's so fucking
asinine.
weak.
It's asinine. It's asinine.
You want to have a Pride Night to welcome people and say,
Hey,
hey,
by the way,
be proud of who you are.
forget everything else. It's good for business.
Right, that too.
Duh. You want to know why the NHL is a niche sport? Shit like this. Yeah.
Putting up with bullshit like that.
Yep.
To change the policy and say,
and being okay with it.
now because these fucking homophobes don't want to wear a pride shirt, now nobody can wear any kind of theme shirt? Weak. And racist or prejudiced,
It's all
whatever
of
you
it.
want to fucking say.
That's all of it.
All right, my second one.
That's bad. That's, yeah.
The second one is probably a description of weak is better, and you're gonna agree with me, but you're probably gonna go harder than I'm about to go. Okay, because I am a early millennial, which means I have bits of me that connect to old school,
Gen X.
right? Like you. But I also have a lot of me that connects with younger too. Millennials. But I'm right at the beginning of millennials, born in '82. So there's parts of me that, you know, are old school, and then there's parts of me that are like super progressive where I'm on the millennial side. But the other night, so fucking weak. The Clippers were playing the Spurs. And Kawhi Leonard was back in San Antonio, and he's been back before. But while shooting free throws, was getting booed by the hometown San Antonio crowd. Because everybody knows what happened with Kawhi Leonard in San Antonio. It was not a good breakup. Kawhi won a championship there as a fucking big piece of that championship.
Pretty big piece.
Leader of it in terms of on the floor.
Pretty big piece. It's Tim Duncan's last.
Yeah. I mean, he was
Tim and Duncan.
He was the up and coming like.
Still Duncan was still Tim Duncan.
Yeah,
but
he was
the
still
other
Tim
two.
Duncan,
He was
right.
1A.
You're
Yeah.
But, you know, and he ended up getting injured, didn't like the way the team was handling it, didn't want team doctors. It was a big shit show.
Well, he felt he was misdiagnosed.
Right. He felt like he was fucked around by the team. Then he didn't trust the doctors and stuff.
Yep.
Anyway, he leaves, so there was some bad blood. But the crowd is booing him when he's at the free throw line. Maybe they were booing him every time he touched the ball. I don't know. I'm not a big booer, but like that's almost like I don't know. That's like a rite of passage booing. You know, when you leave a team you've been with for a long, like even the crowd doing the booing. I don't think it's as hateful. It's like a hey, dude, like we remember you, we still kind of love you, but we're booing you.
Well, you're on the other team now.
Yeah. But Popovich gets on the mic and calls the fans, what you're doing is classless. That's not us. Stop the booing. Can these guys just play? And I was like, you know, coming from a guy who's treated reporters like dog shit for 20 fucking years and what I saw as bullying people for most of his career. The first time Popovich started to get nice was when Craig Sager got cancer.
Yeah.
That was the first
First time he
time
showed he had a pulse.
acted like a person and like said, "Hey man, we're all pulling for you." That was it took Craig fucking
Dying.
Sager dying for this guy to ever be friendly to a media member, at least in public on camera.
Yeah.
And you're going to call them classless for booing? It was so fucking, like, Kawhi Leonard doesn't give a shit that he's getting booed.
He was used to it.
He's one of the best players in the world. He doesn't give a fuck.
He's getting booed half of the season.
Like, you're coddling
they
Kawhi
have 41
Leonard.
road games. He's getting booed half the
Exactly.
season. He's used to it.
You're coddling Kawhi Leonard for what? He doesn't need you to do that. He left y'all. You might still feel bad about the way it ended, but don't shit on the crowd for that. That's your guilt, or whatever the fuck it is.
What I would say to that is twofold. One, if I'm a fan of that team, and I don't care if you boo him or not, that's your preference. I personally wouldn't boo him because he helped us win a championship.
Yeah. I don't boo guys when they come back.
If they help put a banner up there, I'm probably not going to boo them. There's one or two scenarios where it's different, but for the most part, no. He didn't. To me, he went to Toronto. Okay, if he went to the Lakers,
didn't leave you for.
He didn't leave
exactly.
you. He went and joined LeBron.
Exactly.
He didn't do any of that shit. He went and took the Raptors to a title.
Yeah.
That's saying something.
After taking you to a title.
Yeah. So I mean, exactly. So he went in the other conference first of all, so you never saw him. So the damage was minimal. Okay, one. Okay. Now again, he is wearing it. He comes back.
That's
boom,
what I mean.
I get.
Yeah,
It's
I wouldn't
not-
do it, but
yeah.
it's not
So
like the worst
I
thing
get
ever.
Popovich thinking to himself, "I wouldn't do that." Okay, fine, that's you. But you can't tell someone who spent $100 on a ticket what they can and can't do.
The best response of that crowd they should have booed Popovich.
Popovich.
They should have booed him.
Going, really? You're gonna tell me what to do? Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck off.
you. You haven't won a damn thing since this
No,
guy left
and
Tim Duncan retired. Fuck you. What the fuck have you done?
Exactly.
Shut the fuck up,
Nothing.
Mr. Great Coach. You're nothing. You're Bill Belichick.
You've
done
just been a
nothing.
dick.
You're nothing. You've just been,
You've been a dick.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what turned me off. You make a good point in terms of there really is no reason to boo Kawhi Leonard. if
No,
you're San
I mean,
Antonio.
I could understand him thinking to himself, I couldn't do that to him, but that's their right. They can do what they want. Now, if they're throwing shit
They're
at him,
throwing
and stuff,
shit,
that's a
if they're
different.
yelling racial slurs
That's
at
different.
the guy.
That's different.
Yeah,
That's different.
Get
If
on
they're
the mic
just
and
booing
fucking
him
tell him to get
and
the
telling
fuck
him he
out.
sucks, that's that.
But it was just booing.
That's just booing.
Come on.
I mean, yeah. No,
That's soft.
Stephen A. Smith made a comment on that as well.
That's so soft.
He took it too far. Almost like he tried to make it a moment about him.
What did Stephen A. Smith say?
He said, look, he's one of the best coaches ever, blah, blah, but he's like, you can't tell hardworking people how to act when they spend the money on you. And by the way, they're supporting you. He is
Right.
wearing another uniform. And he said, unless it's something racial, okay, fine. Or they're throwing, okay, fine. There's a line. But booing, no.
So now
Booing, no.
So now I think what's interesting is what happens in San Antonio now. Do the fans fall in line, or are there going to be enough? Because if that happened in the Northeast, the fans coming for the next game would be fucking.
If that were
salivating.
Boston or New York, I could tell you exactly what would happen.
Or Philly.
Or Philly. I could tell you
Imagine
exactly.
someone in Philly told them no more booing.
Oh, God, the guy would be getting. They throw batteries at him.
Yeah, they would have. In Philly, it would have been an immediate booing.
They had an immediate boo.
Immediate
this is
booing.
football. Ooh, here we go. Third quarter. Pac-10 rivalry. If
UCLA, why are they
dude,
losing
if
this
they if they win, they're bowl eligible. So this is a big game for them, and they're winning. And they're running the ball right down UCLA's throat.
They're winning and they're running.
And they're running. In the
So,
third quarter.
so those are my 2 cents.
Yeah.
I thought they were good topics.
They are, and they're valid. And again, the first one, wow, that's
Really well.
That's
Well, that's one of those where I saw it and I
Yeah.
start reading the article and I go, well, I wonder why they're being so hard on this.
I mean,
And
the
then I read
guy's,
the
it's,
part
his,
of it.
it's his wife. I mean,
Right.
this gets, the more you dig into it, the worse it gets. It's just
But
like,
I was like, my first thought was, I wonder why they're cracking down so hard on this.
well, what are they cracking down on? There's nothing wrong with what we're talking about.
Celebrating difference. That's
There's-
the sad thing.
This is supposed to.
Celebrating difference is what they're cracking down on.
Well,
that's when I started reading it, and it said last year there was, I think they said 7 to 8 players.
Yeah.
Maybe it was more. There were several players that on Pride nights, complained to the league because they're like, it's against my religious beliefs. Which is just
That's
such a fallacy.
That's such a cop out.
Yeah.
I can't stand that. You just sound like an uneducated idiot who
Yeah.
believes everything you fucking believe. He
'Cause
doesn't
some book
question.
says-
And by the way, in the I was taught in Catholicism to question your religion, not to just blindly go along with it. I was taught to question it by Catholics.
You can't question it. You're being brainwashed.
That's you're being brainwashed. It's like, what the fuck are they? This is the thing. It's like, and again, I've said it 100 times. I'll say it again. Racism is not something you are born with. It gets taught. It gets taught. trust me on this. And I've got enough history, I might agree, to prove it. It gets taught.
Well, it's sad that it gets taught
It's
through religion.
It's sad there are still people out there
It gets taught
that
through
think like
religion.
this in 2023, but it's true. It's here we are.
There's tons of them.
It's tons of them, and it's everywhere.
Probably half the fucking country.
It's everywhere. The worst thing Donald Trump did was he made it okay to be racist in America. He literally made it okay to be a redneck. Okay, like, what the fuck? I mean, you gotta be
It
kidding.
goes beyond rednecks.
It goes beyond rednecks, but they're one of the primary examples of it. But I mean,
There's some rednecks
and,
that aren't racist.
and by the way, no, they're right. It's not all of them, but a lot of them are, and at least a lot of ones that I've come across.
Because, real rednecks are, lower class in terms of economics. And when it comes to this country, lower class is lower class. Yeah. Sure, you might be in a worse situation depending on the color of your skin in the lower class.
Sure.
But people in the lower class of the economic status in this country get shit on.
Yeah.
No matter
regardless
what
color you are, yeah.
So to be in that sector of the population, and then co-signing on prejudice,
and the worst thing about it is they don't even know they're blaming the wrong people.
Exactly. They're blaming people who are in
blaming
similar
people in
situation.
the same situation as you. It's like you're blaming them,
and yeah, you're getting fucked.
Yeah, you're getting fucked. You're all getting fucked.
Yeah.
So it's
it's just. So
I mean,
But this isn't a racial thing.
No.
This started from the whole, being gay is wrong. Same-sex marriage is wrong.
Yeah. I mean, look, I don't
homosexuality
care.
is a sin.
I mean, I went to a wedding at the Boston Harbor Hotel. It was a gay wedding. It was the greatest fucking wedding I've ever been to in my life. I went to school with the kid. He's an ex-military guy. He was afraid to tell me, of all people, of all the guys he was afraid to tell, I was the one he feared the most. I'm like, you know anything about me?
You come across as a homophobe?
No, not at all. But he was more worried about I was going to be disappointed.
No.
He was afraid I was going to be disappointed in him. Like, are you crazy?
Well, you brought up in a world that primes you to think that is not normal.
I wasn't raised that way.
No,
and he's known me long enough to know I'm not like that. That's why I was like, what are you talking about?
He was raised that way.
But he's from Massachusetts too.
Right, but the thing is, people are scared to come out. It's not really about you.
No, I know.
It's about the society they've grown up.
No, this is what he told me.
I know.
I didn't believe me. I was looking at my friends going, he thought I was the one who was most worried to tell? Why is that? But they didn't get it either. It's like,
gay, how dare you?
How dare you be happy? No, and the wedding was amazing. His husband graduated from MIT at 16.
Dude, how many hetero relationships end in divorce?
65%.
And worse.
65%.
So why the fuck should we have the fucking, what do you call it, on marriage? Why should we have the fucking lockhold on it?
Nobody should.
We haven't mastered it.
This is supposed to be a free society. You can do as long as you're not hurting anybody else, you can do what you want. Believe what you want to believe. So as long as you're not hurting somebody else, I don't give a shit. If you're hurting somebody else, that's different.
Then you suck.
Then you suck. Okay, but to me, that stuff is still out there too.
No,
obviously,
but then there's kids that are my daughter's age, 16, and she's got a friend who's like, well, I don't condone that lifestyle. What are you talking about?
Oh, you don't condone it. Who the fuck are you?
You're right. And what
you're
are you
fucking
talking
16
about?
and don't know what the
lifestyle.
I mean, can you even vote yet? Shut the fuck up.
Is liking a certain sex a lifestyle? No, it's not.
You're born that way.
Exactly.
You are.
Do you choose not to bang men?
Yeah. I know.
Do you choose not to bang men?
I'm not attracted to men.
Exactly.
I'm attracted to women.
Right. It's not like, oh, you know what? I think I'm gonna be straight. No. It's just innate.
You're born this way.
It's innate.
It's been proven. You're born this way. Okay. And it's not a fault. It's not their fault, and that's their business. If they're happy, that's all that matters.
NHL needs to fucking.
NHL needs to get into 2023 fast because I got news for you. That's bad look.
And if you think there aren't gay people all throughout the NHL, players, coaches, staff members.
And you're right. It's not racism was the wrong word.
It's prejudice. Sure.
But
I understand what you're saying.
I'm stoned and buzzing. That's a form of it, basically. It's prejudice. Bottom line is that it's 2023. It was never right to begin with, but get with the fucking times in NHL. You're one of the four major sports. You're trying to grow the sport, not shrink it. Because if liberals hear that shit, buy NHL, and that means their wallets. Okay, you dumb fucks. I mean, look at it from a business perspective. Okay, do you want to be $1 billion league, or you want to be hanging on by a thread? You just alienated half of the population, at least, probably more than half. So, because they have common sense, unlike you. So, no, you stay that way and you keep getting dimes in the dollar for your product. Go ahead. Good luck with that.
I hope something changes because of this.
It should, because that's outrageous. Minnesota's the kudos to the hockey team for trying to do the right thing, and bad on the league for fucking stepping in and getting away with it. That's a joke. That's a
Problem
fucking
is,
joke.
nobody probably even read that article. Have you seen one story on it?
When did it happen?
I read it yesterday.
Did it happen the day before? Well, I mean,
I'm not sure.
if it was the holiday, you probably, for one, you're not checking news on the holiday because I don't. I'm watching sports. That's all I'm doing. So I'm not checking CNN and all this other crap and Fox News and where all these other search engines to see or news platforms to see things. So it's very possible I could have missed it. Probably
I think
wouldn't.
it was yesterday. Yeah, November 24th.
So it happened yesterday. All right. Well, it wasn't. I haven't read it today, but this is the first I heard. But it's only been a day, and maybe it'll be on First Take on Monday. Tomorrow's Sunday. I'll tell you what. If Monday ESPN doesn't bring this up, there's a problem.
I mean, it's on ESPN.
It's
like on the.
ESPN. I'm saying if First Take or Get Up or somebody doesn't address this on Monday,
You think one of them will?
I don't know.
found
I
it hard to
would.
believe.
I would, but again, if First Take doesn't really cover NHL. Get Up, I could see doing. But again, it was a lot of it determined. A lot
Hopefully
of it,
some show.
See, here's the thing: a lot of it is determined by if the story gets traction, everybody starts talking about it. Then they're going to feel compelled to talk about it because everybody's talking about
But my
it. It
thing-
happened a day ago on a holiday.
But my thing is like, it should be one that in some. So maybe the person who wins around the horn should talk about it.
Yeah,
Or,
and they might.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
at some point it should be brought up on ESPN. It's a story on their website this week.
If it's on the website, I would say somebody's going to say something
Yeah.
about
A
it.
source told ESPN.
Yeah. I mean, they do hockey night. It probably be hockey night. They do it on Tuesday, I think.
It said a source told ESPN there isn't any punishment expected. So maybe they're not going to fine him.
They better not.
They better not.
They better not, because they know that'll be a fucking story, and not one they want told.
So yesterday it said on ESPN that he was going to be fined,
But now
I thought they said $6,000, which is like stupid.
What the fuck is the point of that?
$6,000.
The guy's a Malta. What the fuck is it? Okay, whatever.
So dumb.
That's dumb. That's dumb on many levels.
So the artist that designed the mask, their name was Cole Red Horse Taylor.
Okay.
It's kind of a cool
Red Horse.
Red Horse.
Yeah. Cold.
Fleury, his name was Fleury. You know Fleury, right? Goalie?
The goalie for Detroit? No, Minnesota.
Marc-Andre Fleury.
Marc-Andre Fleury. He's
I
good.
thought I recognized that name.
Yeah.
But he didn't even play.
But it was him that was.
It was him that wore it in the warm-ups.
So because he wasn't playing in the game.
Yeah,
That's even worse.
More than
See, it just gets worse the more you dig into it.
So it says.
So he wasn't even playing.
So Fleury offered to pay whatever fine the league would levy, but that the NHL then threatened the Wild organization with an additional significant fine. Wow.
For what? What?
So his agent said Fleury was informed he wasn't permitted to wear the mask in the game or in warm-ups. It violated a new NHL policy. Walsh said that Fleury offered to pay whatever fine the league would levy, but then the NHL threatened the Wild with an additional fine if he flouted the rule. Then it says, a source told ESPN there isn't any punishment expected or for the Wild from the NHL for the goalie having worn it. So maybe they realize they're idiots.
I would hope so. Somebody caught it and go, oh, whoa, stop. Do you have any idea what can of worms you're about to open?
Yeah, the theme night
The team did this.
Look, the theme night equipment ban was approved by the NHL Board of Governors with no objection from the NHLPA.
So everybody approved it.
It was enacted after several players refused to take part in warm-ups last season when their teams wore Pride Night jerseys. What an embarrassment.
That's embarrassing.
Citing personal or religious objections to the LGBTQIA plus initiative.
When are people going to grow up?
I don't know.
When the fuck are we going to grow up? And you know what, America? If I'm saying that, that's bad.
Right.
That's
Because you're
really
usually like, just do whatever the fuck.
God's gift to fucking reckless abandon.
In October, the
God's
NHL...
gift to shameless act of tomfoolery.
So they're allowing guys to tape their stick in rainbow tape, but that's the extent of it. In October, the NHL reversed its ban on Pride tape.
I don't know.
The rainbow-colored stick tape players had used to support the LGBTQ community.
I don't know if there's enough marijuana in Colorado that I could smoke that this would make sense to me.
So dumb.
That's beyond dumb. That's awful. I'm glad they nipped it in the bud when they did, because somebody with common sense is luckily in that building that was going to levy this fine. What the fuck they were going to do? This is stupid. This is stupid on every level. Like, it can be stupid. So, in any event, glad they at least did not act.
Well, it looks like it.
Yeah. So, and I had something I wanted to bitch about, and now I'm just stunned by this. It's beyond stupid. It's like watching the Celtics shoot 53s. It's just so stupid. It's like, why do they fucking keep doing this? But I had something I wanted to bitch about tonight because
okay.
And I think I said this to you. We talked about it via text. We made this prediction. Patriots, Giants. All this garbage. But what we failed to mention was that as of 6 o'clock today, Bill Belichick, for some godforsaken reason, did not reveal the start of tomorrow's clash of the Titans. For tomorrow's,
He's such a genius.
Tomorrow's tipping the scales, the fate of the league is going to depend on tomorrow's outcome.
Brian Dable doesn't know what to do.
Doesn't know what to do.
He doesn't know who to prepare for.
He may call him sick.
I mean, what's he going to do?
What the fuck? I mean,
what's he going to do if Mac Jones rolls out there?
What the hell's he going to do if Bailey Zappi's
got Bailey Zappi's in there. He won't know what.
And then Belichick threw a log in the fire when he released this Greer
the third string quarterback.
Yes, he released him today. Oh, the plot thickens, Bill. Are you fucking kidding me?
Brian Dable shit his pants at that point.
Fucking kidding me?
When Dable saw the release of that quarterback.
What the fuck? What? This man needs to retire.
He's losing it.
He's lost it. Well, if I reveal this on Saturday, that would give the Giants a whole 24 hours to prepare for Mac Jones.
I mean, but do you...
It's Tom fucking Brady. Oh my God! Like he has an offensive line they have to worry about. Like he has a number one receiver.
Do you think the team knows?
What?
Who started?
One offensive player, one lineman, guessed that he thinks it's going to be Mac Jones, but he doesn't know. I don't know if
Are you sure though?
I don't know. Listen, did you see this?
Is it Belichick trying to be smart?
The offensive coordinator didn't know. No. Yeah, he didn't know.
Bill O'Brien's did.
He didn't know.
Bill O'Brien's did.
Bill didn't tell him.
Bill O'Brien's
Bill's like,
Bill O'Brien if he came to New England to be a puppet,
dude,
I'm sorry.
What's he gonna say to him? The guy has 6 rings.
I'm not taking that job if I'm a puppet.
I wouldn't listen.
Not being
whatever NFL.com, whoever rated that Pats offensive line in the top 10.
Actually, Bill, I'll take that job to be a puppet.
I mean, you would for that kind of money.
No doubt.
Yeah, I mean,
$2 million a year. You want Belly Zappy? Hey, Zap, get up here.
And then when they ask you, most of my decision, the coach called for him.
No. I mean, we liked what he did in practice this week. It'll be my decision.
But Tom, they split the reps 50-50.
Well, you got to keep them guessing.
50-50. Keep that G-man.
Dude, do you think Wink Martindale's going to know
what
to do when Bailey Zappi
3-8 giant juggernaut on their fucking heels?
Dude, when Tommy DeVito takes center.
Oh, my God. Yeah. You got a bigger problem, Bill. Tommy DeVito.
Tommy DeVito's throwing Doritos all over
you got a bigger problem, Bill. I got stuff.
As John and Anthony call him, Tommy Dorito.
Joe Montana in blue.
No, he's the second coming of Phil Simms.
I'm sorry.
He's Eli Manning.
Does Phil Simms deserve that? That's not fair. That's terrible.
No.
Quick shot at Phil.
He's the ghost of Jeff Hostetler.
Does Jeff Hostetler's ghost deserve that?
Maybe not. God damn it, he's the third cousin of Kerry Collins.
Oh, my God.
Kerry Collins
he went to a Super Bowl. He did. He went to that Hall of Fame Ravens defense.
Yikes.
Wasn't his fault. They were that good. And my buddy, my classmate, teammate Greg Camello was the fullback of that team. He played at Stanford. Well, he came from Zavarian. Anyway, but the thing is, Bill Belichick, go away. Just go away. Just go away. Please. I mean, at this point, I can't believe. See, the problem is, and I feel bad for the beat writers. I never feel bad for beat writers, but I'm like, if you have to cover this team right now, this is the worst job on earth covering this asshole.
Dude, the pompous pettiness.
Just all of it. Yeah, I mean, every little everything about him sucks. And now you got to deal with him. It's like,
who do you think would be worse, Popovich in his prime or Belichick now, as a reporter? And I'm talking about
who would be covered worse to cover?
when Popovich was in his. Remember the sideline reporter? He used to embarrass Greg
he was
Sager.
an asshole.
I mean, if you asked him,
I
a
would
bad
say
question,
Popovich. Belichick wouldn't embarrass somebody on the sideline.
He just gives you nothing.
He just gives you nothing. Like if you ask him a question, if it's not about general football knowledge, he ain't answering it. If it's general football knowledge, you'll get a 15-minute answer. He'll break it all down.
But I'm talking about.
But if you, the team, or anything like that, no.
But I'm not talking about Belichick in his prime with Brady. I'm talking about Belichick right now when he's trying to be smart.
He's not.
I know.
It's like you don't even have to ask the question.
But when you ask the
everybody
question,
knows.
it's like, we don't know who's starting.
I mean,
And
I
it's
did a rant today under the name of IDD that I put out there about. It was Clarissa Thompson.
Facebook?
Yeah, you'll see it. She's like the Patriots are in it to win it. She interviewed all the Patriots, and they're 2-8, and they're still in it to win it. Like, and I wrote, "Win what?" And then I went on this tangent, and I blasted Belichick. Literally, I turned it into bullet points. It's fucking beautiful. It's literally every fucking thing this idiot has done since 2019. Like, this fucker should have been fired for this, and this. And now they're in it to win it. What the fuck are they going to win? The team sucks. The team sucks, and he built it. He built the whole fucking thing. I said Mac Jones has a JV team around him on offense. Look at his peers. It's a fucking joke. Look at what he's going up against every weekend. His fucking counterpart has 2 All-Pros on the outside. He has a better offensive line, has a better everything, and he's supposed to make magic? Give me a fucking break. I mean, it's just so. Then they went to his drafting of N'Keal Harry and the $150 he spent on those 4 fucking scabs and the offensive line that he didn't draft. All this in the high rounds, he scotch taped the guy, blasted him, and then I said, oh, by the way, how about the coach? The defense, the special teams is the worst it's ever been. They're the worst special teams in the league. They used to be a staple. Their penalties are way up. This is the most penalties that they have committed in 24 years. The defense can't get off the field on 3rd down. You and I remember that bullshit. Okay, the offensive game plans
against the Commanders.
The offensive game plans are devoid of any imagination whatsoever and fail to feature any of the talent that they do have. And this fucker is supposed to be your coach next year? Give me a fucking break. And then at the bottom, I put 82 and 98, and he's going to catch Jeff Fisher for the most losses in NFL history. That's what he's going to do. That's a 10-year sample size without Tom Brady. Most coaches don't get 10 years. He's had 10 years without Tom Brady. He is 82 and 98 with 1 fucking playoff win, and that came against the Patriots.
What, when he was on the Browns?
Yeah, they were in the game. It was a wild card game. It was in Cleveland again. It was Bledsoe's 2nd year, and they beat them 20-13. That's his only fucking playoff win.
On that team?
I don't remember. That was the only they had. I think it was Testaverde was the quarterback. But the point is, he's literally. They're going to finish. I don't know if they're going to win another game.
If they're going
they might beat the
better
Jets.
win this
They
one.
might beat the Jets at home at the end of the season because he hates the fucking Jets. He'll actually coach
They
that.
could
week.
beat the Giants. They could. That's one team they could beat.
Saquon's playing. They lose. If Bailey Zappi starts,
Yeah, that's.
forget it. Okay.
I would rather see Mac Jones if I'm you. I think
Mac
Jones
Jones.
can beat the Giants.
I hope Mac Jones, and I say this, I hope he never plays another down for the Patriots. He doesn't deserve this. He deserves to go somewhere else. Rob Gronkowski said it, and I'll say it again. Rob was right. If I were him, I would have gone to them about it and asked for my outright release. Fuck all
Sign
of
with the
you.
Browns.
Go sign with them. Fuck them. Fuck all of you. I am done with you. Fuck you, Mr. Kraft. Fuck you, Belichick. Just release me. Release me right now. I mean, that's what I would do. Rob Gronkowski is 100% right. Okay? And Mac Jones, you want to talk? Mac Jones is crying. You'd be crying too if fucking this fucking guy did this to you. He ruined his career. He single-handedly destroyed Mac Jones, who had a Pro Bowl year his rookie year. He destroyed him. And it started with the hiring of Patricia and Judge, who no GM other than that wasn't named Bill Belichick would have survived. That fucking gaffe. That fuck-up. That was a fuck-up of all fuck-ups. He destroyed his quarterback in year 2. The biggest year of their development. This dickhead brings in Charlie Brown and Lions Van Pelt to run the fucking team. Run the offense, rather. That's fucking ridiculous. That's absolutely fucking ridiculous. And for some reason, well, I know why. Because he's Bill Belichick. He didn't get fired for that. And then this year, he refuses to spend the money to sign DeAndre Hopkins. He lets one of the homegrown guys, Jacoby Myers, who was Max Binky, go. What other team in this league would have let their quarterback's top favorite weapon go? You name me one team, and for $11 million a year, That's all it would have took to keep him, and he was their best receiver. If they had just kept him and paid DeAndre Hopkins, this team looks very different. And that's all they would have had to do. Forget the offensive line. At least they would have been able to throw the fucking football because guys would have got open. That's all they would have had to fucking do, and they wouldn't be in this mess. He couldn't even do that, America. Or Patriot Nation, rather. He couldn't even do that. And yet you expect Mac Jones to take all of these fuck-ups and turn water into wine. You're fucking ridiculous. You're utterly fucking ridiculous for thinking that. You need your fucking head examined because you're a fucking moron if you believe that this is anything. Mac Jones is the byproduct of all of this, and he's taking the fall for it, and it's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. And I don't know if Mac Jones can play or not because I can't evaluate him.
Tough evaluating when
How to evaluate a guy who has none of the weapons that his counterparts have? None of them. None of them. Okay? And Dan Orlovsky's been saying that since the summer. Okay? The only thing that they thought was the Pats would be able to run the ball. Well, now they're 27. They can't even run the fucking ball. They can't even do play action because they're no threat to run because the line can't fucking block. 3 games. 3 games all year they've rushed for 100 yards. 3 games. Are you fucking kidding me? And Mac Jones supposed to overcome that too?
Was outcoached by Ron Rivera.
Ron Rivera.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah, Ron Rivera. And the guy he paid the $11 million to, instead of keeping Joey Myers, is the one who the ball went right through his hands to seal their fate. But that was Mac Jones' fault for hitting the fucking guy in the hands. Just give me a
you're talking about Juju?
Juju.
Sure. I got it. Yeah. Go ahead. Keep
So this is why, and again, I'm going to keep saying this until he's out of there in his all-powerful ass. Because he needs to fucking go like yesterday's garbage. He needs to fucking go. And for and again, for fucking dickhead, what's his name there? Who I generally like, okay? For dickhead Bill Burr to sit there and go, who are you gonna get? Hey Bill, anyone. Get anyone. Okay? Because without Tom Brady, Bill, you want to ignore the fact he's 82 and 98 without him. That is not a small sample size, Mr. Burr. That is a decade. He's drafted 2 Pro Bowls in the last 10 years. And one's a punter and one's a returner. Tom Brady, in spite of that, because he's Tom fucking Brady.
No, Mac Jones is one of them.
Yeah, kind of 3 then. It's 3. Mac was 3. 3.
I mean, which
and he destroyed Mac Jones.
Right.
He destroyed him. He destroyed him.
And he followed that season up with
Matt Patricia and Joe Judge. And I was, when you went to take a picture, as I was telling them, any other GM in this league would have been fired for that. Any other GM would in the league, this league, and that's your number 1 pick quarterback in his year 2 development, they'd have fired that fucking guy.
About ruining an investment.
They'd have fired that GM so fucking fast, but because he's Bill Belichick, he got away with it. He got a pass.
Well, you kind of fall asleep at the wheel because of the sustained success. That
They haven't had it since Brady left.
I know, but that left everybody asleep at the wheel. I think some fans included, like Bill Burr.
Bill Burr is definitely asleep at the wheel. And to sit there and call fans spoiled, no, Bill, this just could have been avoided. It wasn't like they were in salary cap jail and they were pinned back and couldn't spend any money. No, he spent money on all the wrong things, all the wrong players. He had the draft picks. His defense is ranked. What fucking GM has a top 10 defense and a bottom 5 offensive line and goes out and gets defense and not offensive line? What fucking, when you drafted your quarterback 15th in the first fucking round, what GM is that fucking dumb? One, okay? 1. And he's running the ship. Right? He's taking the Titanic into the. It's going off the iceberg and it's going down.
There's probably some
unfucking believable.
There's probably some others.
Unfucking. Not this dumb. Not this fucking dumb. This is beyond dumb. This is fucking Three Stooges dumb.
What GM is that dumb?
Who is that fucking dumb? One. When think about this, Tom. I want you to think about this. I said this. I'll say it again because he didn't hear it. I want his reaction to this. Name me one GM who, because it's a quarterback-driven league now, who would listen to his quarterback go, wait, that's my favorite receiver, and let him go. And then sign a guy for the same amount of money it would take to sign him. What GM in this league would have done that for their quarterback?
Packers did that.
No, he chose to leave. They tried to sign him.
Really?
He chose to leave. He didn't want to play with Aaron Rodgers anymore. They tried to sign him.
He didn't act like that.
Yeah, he didn't want to play with Aaron Rodgers anymore. He was sick and tired of the up and down. Is he in? Is he out? Is he going to retire? He wanted some stability in his future. That's why he went to play with David Carr. Okay, and then then fucking Josh Fields then fucks that all up. Okay, but the bottom line is, there's only one GM.
Actually, you know what? Bill O'Brien did that in Texas.
Well, he wasn't the GM; he was the coach.
He was both.
And what did he do?
He fucking got rid of DeAndre Hopkins.
That team was sinking when it happened. They had already
that
peaked.
sunk them. I mean, maybe things like Belichick was trying to emulate.
I don't think that might have been also. I don't know what they traded him, or did you just let him go?
They traded him to Arizona.
What did they get for him?
Dick.
Well, they could have traded Myers and got a pick for him or something. Maybe if they re-signed a signing trade something. The bottom line is, it was the same amount of money to keep him. If you pay $11 million for this guy, who by the way flunked the damn this team,
Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, they could.
Yeah, no.
What GM would have done that?
Oh, Fumbleina. Oh, and the punter. It was the kicker that got it.
Wow. UCLA is in trouble.
In trouble's not the word.
Serious trouble.
Luckhurst.
Anyway, Bill Belichick is the only GM I know that's done that. I don't know how.
No, you're right.
I don't know how it
I'm
ended
just
with
being
Hopkins.
contrary.
Hopkins was there 6 years before with O'Brien before he left, and his most productive years were with O'Brien.
I was just.
So I don't know what that means.
Well, he's a good receiver. He's one of those
he's a Hall of
guys.
Famer. He would look great in
Yeah.
Patriots blue this year.
He would have.
Him and Jacoby Myers would look real good together with this Demario Douglas running around. That would have been something.
And Dalvin Cook as your halfback.
Yeah, that would have been. They had the money to get him too.
Yeah.
That might have looked pretty good. No. We can't spend that money. Oh, no, we have to save it for Christmas. Fucking break. Because what have they spent it on? I mean, give me a fucking break. Instead, he creates a quarterback controversy. He brings in a third-string guy that no one ever sees, and then 2 weeks later he cuts him. It's fucking ridiculous. Mac Jones goes into a game, he doesn't even have a backup if he gets hurt. So stupid.
It's just weird at this point.
He needs to go.
It's just
Done.
weird.
He's all done, America.
You got anything else you want to go
No, that's it.
But I just poured a
Oh, we
drink.
can talk. I mean,
What else have you seen? Oh, you know what? I got a phrase I wanted to throw a shot at.
Phrase.
My daughter used it tonight and smirked at me because she goes, I know how much you love that phrase. The phrase same difference. It's kind of like I don't disagree. It's such a horseshit phrase.
Same difference.
Same difference. When you're basically saying same thing, some people say same difference.
This bothers you.
It bothers me because it's so stupid. Why would you say same difference when you're saying same thing?
I don't know that I've ever actually said that.
You wouldn't. You're not that type of person.
I don't know. I'm trying to think if I ever have actually said that.
It's dumb.
And I'm trying to think of a scenario where it actually makes sense. I don't know.
Right, it doesn't. It doesn't.
But I don't. But again, like,
it's really in a situation
why
where
would you?
go, oh, you know.
Why would you say that though? Like, why? Because to me, when someone says same difference, it's like.
So if I was,
are
like,
you saying?
So
like,
look, if I was like, hey, yeah, I mean, remember last night we got to the club around 6:55, and you were like, no, it was 7 o'clock. Okay, and then I'm like,
or 5 minutes to 7.
Oh, and I would go, well, it's the same fucking thing. Somebody else might go, same difference. It makes no sense.
Well, if someone says 6:55 and then someone goes 5 minutes to 7.
That's the same exact thing.
It is, but it's the same difference.
That would be
Because
stupid.
instead of you saying 6:55, you said 5 minutes to 7.
Same difference is.
I don't know.
That's Dumb and Dumber when he's like, pick up at
I don't know.
7:45.
Like, I mean, I'm saying but if someone said, like, that's just one example. I'm saying, like, to me, time is where that might come up. Quarter of. No, it's 15 minutes till. Same difference.
Same thing.
Same difference.
Not a difference. It's the same thing. There's no difference.
Same thing. Whatever. I don't know. This doesn't irk me like it irks.
No,
I'm just trying to
not
figure
saying
out.
I walk around pissed off about this. It's just I heard the phrase tonight.
Oh wait, so when Penny was being sarcastic, what she said?
Maddie.
Oh,
Yeah.
Maddie was being sarcastic.
Maddie. So
oh, good
she
one,
said
Maddie.
something
Good one,
to me,
Maddie.
She goes,
That's a girl, Maddie.
She goes,
Jab him.
She goes, same difference, and then she goes, I know how much you love that phrase. No, but like I wasn't mad at her. I was just like, you know what? This would be a good thing to talk about on IDB. Same fucking difference. Bullshit.
I wonder what we look up and what that means.
It means same thing. And then Maddie was like, you know, it's an oxymoron. I was like, you're right. That's why I hate it even more. Oxymorons suck. Jumbo shrimp.
Jumbo shrimp. Same difference meaning, so there is a meaning.
Used to express the speaker's belief that two or more things are essentially the same.
Used to say the two things that are not really different in any way.
So why wouldn't you just say same thing? You know?
Because I guess you can say it that way, and it means that. So you're okay.
But it means that's so dumb. When you think
Not
about
really.
that word,
If it's-
same difference?
It has a meaning.
Because
So
people say it.
Somebody accepted it because it's in Google.
God,
somebody was okay with it.
I hate when you rationalize dumb shit.
I'm not saying it's not dumb. I'm saying somebody's okay with it. It's in Google.
Yeah, I know. People say it. It's a saying. It's a dumb saying. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you think it's a dumb saying. Maybe it's not. That's
What's your opinion on it?
I don't have an opinion on either way. It doesn't matter.
Get the
to me.
fuck out of here.
To me, it's like on the level. It's like somewhere below the Save the Spotted Owl Society in terms of
Right.
what I
I'm
care
just
about.
asking you what your opinion on it is right now. And you're like, well, it's
No,
in
I'm just
Google.
looking at so
The
used to
definition
saying,
makes no sense.
I'm just trying to see if there's a scenario where I actually would use this. That's what I'm looking at. Is there a scenario where I actually would use this? That's what I'm
Sure.
asking. Used to say that two different things are not really different in any important way. Well, important way. So there could be some differences, but mostly.
Well, it's like I said.
Yeah.
We got to the club at 6:55.
So-
You correct me and say, no, it was 7 o'clock. I'd say,
Well, that
yeah,
is
same
different,
thing.
though. 6:55 or 5 minutes to 7 is the same thing. If you say
No,
6:55 and I say you say 7 o'clock, you said no, that's the 5 minutes. It's not the same thing.
No, it's saying thing.
I'm
You are fucking ridiculous.
no, I'm
You're an
not.
asshole.
6:55.
I know they
and
are not
7
the
o'clock
same
are not the
exact
same.
thing.
That's what
I'm
saying.
saying. You.
I'm not.
You don't understand how the euphemism "same thing" is used.
I do, but I'm saying technically that is not
Right.
the same thing.
But the way you use
But
the
for
term
you-
"same thing" is that two things that are, critically they're not different, right?
according to that, in any important way, they're not
right.
different.
And to me, that's kind of
But-
how I've used 6:55 and
Okay,
7.
I'm just saying that just means that there are some dissimilarities.
Sure.
there. That's all I'm saying to you. Because look, if there's a definition in there has to be a logical reason for it. Because that, on the surface, what you say makes sense to me. That doesn't make any sense. But then when I look it up, when it explains it, and goes, so basically everything important that matters, it's not really different. But that means there could be some minor differences, but overall, it's not really that big of a deal.
So they both have the same difference.
I'm just saying, same.
It's the same thing.
I didn't make it up. I'm just saying,
All right.
if someone had a
The more we talk about it, maybe it does make sense.
I'm
I
just
still
saying,
hate it.
I wouldn't. I'm not even saying I would use it. I don't think I ever
Fuck
have.
These koozies that stick to my cup and fall on the ground. That's another thing. Okay.
Now, that
the
would have been
person-
something to bitch about.
The person that invents the koozie that doesn't stick to the bottom of this fucking
I was
cup,
waiting for this.
or every cup.
Now, if you want to bitch about something,
That
is
is
something to
that
bitch
is going
about.
to be a great invention.
Because that, to me, pisses off a lot of people not named Tom Izzo.
Every
And
time
if-
I pick my cup
And
up,
if
there's
it's
a
stuck to
koozie
it,
stuck
it
to
does
it.
annoy me. I do find that
Then it
annoying.
just fell on the floor.
I don't think I'm the only one that finds that annoying.
Salt in the
besides
wound.
him. It is kind of salt in the wound.
Salt in the wound.
So that one, it's funny because I always thought that would come up at some point. I mean, it has now. But I thought that it would come up at
And
Tom
dude,
Izzo's
you've
2 cents.
given me so many different kinds of koozies. They all stick.
None of them work, America.
They all stick.
I've given him paper ones. I've given him cardboard.
Oh, yeah.
I've given them. It doesn't matter. Oh wait, what about this one? Wood.
That's the one.
Would that-
That's the give it
That
here.
would be the one that I don't think they stick because it
It's-
broke.
it's
my
ceramic.
kids broke this. It says Boston Garden. They broke it.
It's ceramic.
It's a beautiful fucking thing. My kids break it.
And
That's
it's
fair.
heavy. And I think that's the key.
Needed to have a hold.
All the other ones
that
are
should
not
not
heavy.
stick. So we're gonna wait. We're gonna check this out. That might be the answer.
Now I got to change this rant.
Why?
Because what a couple of dumbasses.
This just in.
We didn't know. A
This
heavier stone/ceramic koozie is the
Well,
answer.
I knew that one worked. I never put 2 and 2 together. Because I rarely have that problem. 'cause
Well,
I usually have,
I saw
But-
the luggage,
but-
then I saw the plane tickets,
but-
put 2 and 2
put it
together.
together. Yep. So yeah, I'm saying like when I do have that problem, I do notice it. But whenever I use that, I don't have the problem. So it's like it depends.
Obvious. It's
Yeah.
an obvious solution.
It's an obvious solution.
And sometimes
Yeah.
the most obvious solutions are the most difficult to calculate.
Because you overlook it. Because you don't believe it's as simple.
Yeah.
Sometimes you've heard this saying. Sometimes the simplest answer is the right one.
And we're always looking
easiest-
for deeper meaning.
Yep. Well, the first usually what movie was it? It was Coming to America, the first one, the good one. Where Eddie Murphy, the girl was like, "Do you think I overreacted?" He goes, "The first reaction is usually the correct one," and he was right. 9 times out of 10, the first reaction is usually the correct one if you don't overthink it. Yes, there are exceptions.
Which reminds me of A Beautiful Mind. You've seen A Beautiful Mind.
Great movie,
Great movie.
Great.
Now, at the end of that, he gives a speech.
based on a true story, I might add.
It is. And he says something about mastering mathematics, but then saying something about
He said, and I quote, because Jennifer Connelly is one of my all-time favorites.
Okay, so you got the quote.
He goes, "I've
About the
always believed
equations
in
of love.
numbers,
Numbers.
but it's only through the mysterious equations of love
Yes.
that any rational conclusion can." And he looks right at it and goes, "I'm only here because of you."
Yeah.
That I almost fucking cried, and I almost fucking I
You
was
didn't
like,
cry in that movie?
I almost did right there. I've cried, but that moment I almost fucking.
Did you cry in that movie? I think I cried in that.
I think I did.
I think I cried during that scene.
When he was getting the zap through him because they thought he was all fucked up and they didn't. Yeah,
I didn't cry during that.
That was sad.
I was more disturbed during that.
I felt bad. That was terrible.
That was awful. And that's what they did to people back
That
then.
was what they did to people back then.
Who had mental illness.
And his buddy, who was adversary, came back to help, which was great.
Yeah.
And but
That's right.
he finally figures it out before she leaves with the kids. She never gets old.
She never gets
She
old.
never gets old. He figured it out, right? He was always about, I'll eventually figure out.
Logically,
solve.
he
yeah,
had to figure
because he
it
was
out.
all about problem solving. So he always felt like I can solve any problem. Because he was so smart, and I can see why he would think that way. But he had created this thing.
That was such a great scene.
It was such a great scene.
You remember when they're in the shed
Yeah.
and she sees all the pictures and she had thought he had gotten better.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
When she walks into that shed and
That shit
it's
was
like,
fucking fucked up.
oh my God,
Yeah.
he is crazy.
He's crazy.
She gets in the car, she's crying.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he's on the hood.
Yep.
She never gets old.
Yep. She never gets old.
And then he sees him for the rest of his life and just doesn't talk to them.
Yeah, because
What an amazing
it's
mind.
incredible story, and the end of that was one of the best closing scenes in a movie I've ever seen. Because
The speech?
the speech at the end is awesome.
I want to go home and watch it.
I mean that is awesome, and
What a
so
great movie.
great movie. But anyway, yeah. So no,
Remember, so here's a fun fact, and I hope I got this right, but that he didn't win the Academy Award for that.
no, he did not.
Denzel won it for Training Day,
Yeah.
which I disagreed with. Only and
And Denzel did a great job
No,
in Training
it was
Day.
great.
He was
Here's
worthy
the
of
thing.
it. I'm not mad at
Here's
that.
the thing.
I mean,
Russell Crowe won it for Gladiator, and to me, Denzel that year should have won it for The Hurricane. And I felt like Training Day was a makeup for that.
Maybe.
So I'm
Yeah.
cool with it.
Yeah.
Because they're both Academy Award.
Oh, yeah, they're
level
both phenomenal actors.
They're
They're both
amazing.
phenomenal.
And Gladiator was great. Same way
oh,
Training
God.
Day was
I
great.
still watch
Dude, when he
Gladiator.
came up and he was like,
Gladiator was.
"I am so and so Maximus."
He's like Marcus Aurelius.
Yeah, Marcus
Commander of the
Aurelius.
armies of the North.
Yes.
Husband to a murdered wife. Father to a murdered son. And I will have my vengeance.
Well, he said, "Father to a
This
murdered son, husband to a murdered wife."
I will have my vengeance in this life or the next. And I got news for you.
Didn't he say, "I bow to the one true king"?
Marcus Aurelius.
That was so,
Because he knows he killed him.
Joaquin
He knew
Phoenix.
all along
Oh,
he
yeah.
killed him. He
Yeah.
knew it was bullshit.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, Joaquin Phoenix is really good at making you hate him.
Yeah.
He's really good at that. He's-
Although the one movie I really liked him in,
Johnny Cash.
no, well,
He was-
yeah, that
he was
too.
great.
But
He
earlier
was-
than that, Signs.
Oh, I saw something.
Really? I think you'd like that.
Didn't see it. Who else was in it?
Mel Gibson's the lead. Joaquin Phoenix is his brother.
That's
Mel
interesting.
Gibson is a widower
Oh,
with two kids. Macaulay Culkin's younger brother's in it.
really?
It's an alien movie. It's great.
That's why.
It's an M. Night Shyamalan. Great movie.
I kind of got, and I'm not saying this is right or wrong. I just got turned off to like alien movies after. What was the last good one I saw? that I liked?
Well, if you're going back that far, you're probably thinking of Will Smith one.
That's
Independence
one of
Day?
them. I liked Independence Day. That was
Signs is probably my favorite.
Well,
I
the
mean,
other one-
Contact is a good one.
Contact was very good.
There's a
I don't-
there's a newer one called
maybe Contact. Which one came first or last?
Contact was first, I think.
Because I know that 1997, I think or 96 was Independence Day. I think it was 96.
Yeah, Signs was in the mid 2000s.
Yeah, I
You
did.
should check that out. It's
I
pretty
been
good.
turned off to space alien type shit. I don't know why. I saw something. I don't know what it was. Just like, what the fuck is this? And just, I don't know what it was. I didn't get through it, but I kind of got turned off to alien.
Signs is good.
I'll probably check it out. Especially, I'm a Mel Gibson fan too, so I'll probably check it out.
But yeah, Beautiful Mind. That speech at the end.
Yeah, amazing.
Lovely.
And I mean, the thing about some of those movies, especially the ones that are based on true stories, is that you can see, because again, I know they embellish a lot of it. And
Exactly.
not all,
It's Hollywood.
but much like, there's always a message in there that is relevant, that actually is the reason the story is true in the first place. That part about it is generally true. Like in the case of Miracle, where that hockey team beat the Russians, the thing about that what made it true is he got those kids to believe they could do something that they really couldn't do. And they got blasted 10-3 like 12 days before in Madison Square Garden. Like they had no business being on the ice with that team, but he literally coached them into going, they'll probably beat us 9 times out of 10, but not tonight. Not this is the night they lose. And that was the greatest speech I've ever heard.
This is our time.
That was the greatest speech I ever heard a coach give. And by all accounts, that's exactly the speech he gave. So that is true.
Yeah, but I mean,
but a lot of it was
Kurt Russell killed that.
He killed it.
He killed that. There's no way that coach gave as good a speech as Kurt
Russell nailed that.
Yeah, I mean, it was just so
he nailed
good.
the whole when they tied the Norwegians and they were checking out the blondes and he goes, this also happened where he brought them on the ice and they just ran the gases until they were dropping and puking and then Eruzione fucking.
Shit. It's kind of like when Denzel had them running. It's a very similar scene. Right, and remember the time because the other night we were doing the Denzel where he's looking at him going. There's a fine line between crazy and
tough, and you're flirting
with it.
Yep, you're flirting. And you just smile at him and blew it again. And they'll throw up.
Now, what's his face did it more times I think than Denzel did it.
I think the message, and he said this the thing about that movie is, in the interview when they interviewed him for the job. He said in the beginning that the schedule needs to be longer, tougher, more competitive. And they're all like, you going to pay for that? Like all the fucking money guys are going to fund this thing? And he's like, the reason we don't beat this team is because they outwork us in the off season.
Yeah.
And he was 100% right. He was proven to be right. And the guy goes, you want to beat this team that's won gold medals 62, 70, 74. It's like that's a pretty lofty goal, Herb. He goes, that's why I want to pursue it, asshole. and there's one guy in the middle who gets it. He's like, he's just nodding going, this is the guy. He's like, this is the guy. And yeah, it was awesome. I love that. But that was Herb Brooks. That was really how he was. So he was very...
You needed a stubborn asshole to do that.
You needed an old school guy.
That was the only way.
Did you see the documentary on this?
No.
They have a scene against the Russians in the exhibition game when the Russians taxed them. And one of these guys for the Russians took a cheap shot at one of the Americans. And he goes, up close and personal, and this is the guy doing the documentary, America got a glimpse of the real Herb Brooks. And Herb Brooks is calling out the guy in the end, he goes, I'll shove that stick up your ass, fucking, he's yelling at the Russian. It's like, because it was a cheap shot, and they didn't call it, and the guy's down, they have to take him off the ice, and then all of a sudden the camera zooms, during the game, he goes, I'll shove that stick up your fucking ass, and he said the guy's name, and it's just like dead, like, he would have killed him. Like, he was a hockey player. Like, that was a hockey player mentality. He goes, that's who he was. Yeah. And when I saw that, and I'm like, oh my God, this
And he was a fringe guy. Like, he didn't, right? Didn't they say, like, when the team went to win the championship, he was the last man cut or something like that?
1960. He got cut before. They was the last U.S. team to win the gold.
Right.
So, and the goalie brings it up.
Yeah.
When they brought that guy in at the end, he's like, you think Herb won't do whatever it takes?
Yeah.
He goes, we know he missed the cut in 60. He's like, yeah. Or, he's on the team. Like, yeah. He goes, so a week before the games, Coach Riley calls him in and sends him home. He's like, so? He's like, so a week later, he's on the couch with his dad watching his team win the gold medal. He goes, get that close and not get it? He's like, he'll do whatever it takes. Yeah. And he was right. He would do whatever it takes. So that was Herb Brooks. And God bless him. One of the greatest upset in sports.
But he did send that guy home.
He did send a guy home. But he had to.
Which was kind of similar to Denzel letting Bertier
make that decision.
Tell Ray he was off the team.
Which was a cool move by Herm Brooks there.
So,
because he goes, well, you're the captain.
You know my policy.
Yeah, he goes, and he goes, Gary's like, I respect it, but this dude is and basically he's like, you got to cut this guy loose, man. He's going to kill us. Mm-hmm. And he was right. And that's why. And the thing is,
he killed Rev.
And this is where I give her, Boone. He's like, you know what? All right, you're the captain. You make the decision, but you support the decision. Mm-hmm. And he deferred to him on it because he knew the kid. Yeah. He's like, all right, well,
that was his guy.
That was his guy. And for him, that took a lot of stones on Bertier. If that was true, that took a lot of stones. Probably.
That was Disney.
Yeah, that was Disney. But I knew that's cool. Whether it was true or not, it was fucking cool.
But, the fucked up thing is, he knew that before that.
He did. But he explained it later.
Right.
I was afraid. It was in the hospital bed.
It took that to happen for him to finally cut that.
When he saw Rev go down and break his arm, he was all right, enough's enough. Actually, it was before that. In the practice, He got in his face for not blocking. He goes, "You got." He goes, "Oh, you know what? You knew Hickam."
Well, no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He knew
Yeah.
that guy was like that. Because remember,
Yeah.
once they were integrated,
Yeah.
that guy tried to sit with them, and he goes,
Yeah.
this is a defensive table, Ray.
Yeah. He sends him back.
And Ray was like, that's when Ray was like, holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, because Bertier was always trying to do the right thing.
Bertier was about the team.
Yeah, he was always about the team. He brought the team together. But that's
Cannot replace a Gary Bertier. As a player,
as
a
man,
person.
You can't. That's why the gym at T.C. Williams up north is still named after.
That's another time
Is that
to
it?
talk about football.
Yeah, Yost went too far there.
Remember when he's like,
I loved Yost through the whole
Where is
movie.
it?
That was the one bad thing he did.
I'm hurt.
Yeah, not
dead.
dead.
You're
No,
like,
you're not.
No, you're not. But see, Yost was having that internal battle of like,
No, Yost.
are we pushing them too far? You
Well-
know, like Yost,
I
because
think-
then he saw what happened to Gary, and he just
Yeah,
didn't know
no.
if they were doing the right thing.
I think what the problem Yost always had was, and again, it wasn't Yost's fault. He had never been through this. The reason he was pushing so hard is because they were trying to overcome shit that no other team had to overcome. They were integrated.
Yeah.
Every other team, every other school in that league was white, all white. They had, and he said in the first game, we have to deal with something nobody else has to, but we're better men for it.
Yeah.
But that's why he pushed them, because he knew to overcome all this, they were going to have to be pushed harder. That's what Boone understood that Yost didn't, because Yost is white and doesn't get it.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Yost doesn't, but he came around eventually.
Right. He eventually
Yeah,
understood.
He understood eventually, but it took him some time. And now
Well,
he understood
according to
it.
the movie.
According to which is all a bunch of lies.
Yeah. But remember,
Right, DJ?
but remember when?
By the way, DJ Murray, great movie critic next to him. Better than Siskel Ebert.
Well, he said he knew somebody who was on the team.
Said
and
95% of it
they
was
had
true.
different.
Yeah.
They had different practices between the white players and the black players, and it was not kumbaya the way it seemed in the movie.
No.
But we choose to believe the movie because it was
Well,
beautiful.
in the movie, it wasn't kumbaya until midway through the movie. For the first half of the movie, it was anything but kumbaya.
No, before they came back from camp, it was kumbaya.
I'm saying it took camp. That's
2
what it
weeks.
changed. Yeah, but I'm saying that
It
wasn't.
wasn't halfway through the movie.
Yeah, it was about an hour in. They were in
It
camp for
wasn't.
about an hour. They came back and started playing people. The movie's over 2 hours long, you know.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the seat like halfway through the season. You know what I'm saying? Like it was before the season started that they
Actually,
got on the
you know
same
when they
page.
really came together? When Blue called the meeting. When Blue called the
Man, we ain't nothing,
Blue,
man.
When Blue called the meeting in the gym where there was nobody else around.
You think you
No
done something?
coaches. You ain't done nothing, man.
You ain't nothing,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, we won a
You
few
ain't
games.
nothing but
Big deal.
a big
Yeah.
pile of nothing,
Yeah.
man.
No, Blue
That
was,
was
right.
funny.
Blue, I think Blue was the one that told
Well,
the whole team got involved.
Because remember, they came back from camp.
Yeah.
And then
Gary
there
was
all
on
the, there
board.
was all the racism and shit in the school.
Yeah, there was that to do.
And like,
Yeah.
and then they found out. Well, they didn't know, but behind the scenes, Boone found out that if he lost the game,
One game.
he was going to be
I
fired.
wonder if that was true.
That I'm sure was
I
true.
think that was true.
I mean, it's the most unbelievable part is that he was actually hired in that time.
Well,
You know?
they were trying to do this.
They were trying
They
to
plucked him.
Yeah, and he was a great coach.
Probably because they knew he could handle it.
Yeah,
I mean, when someone makes that decision at the top, there's a reason why.
but then
It's not just the guy has a good record.
But then the money said, "Get rid of him. We don't want a black guy coaching." And then, you know, they didn't lose a game. But when Yost comes to him and he's like, "Well, maybe if you weren't so hard on him," and Denzel's like, "Hard on who?
Who?
Who are you talking about?"
Yeah.
He goes, "Because
You
you
don't
don't
stop
say
me to get up on
When
Bertier."
I get on Bertier?
Yeah.
When I get on, what's Julius's last name?
Big Julius.
Julius.
What was his last name?
Fuck, what was Julius's last name?
Big Jules. Big Jules.
Julius. He was an All-American.
He was an All-American. They say his name too
Right,
in the
he
movie.
says his name when he goes, "You don't get on me when I get on."
Yeah.
He says him by last name.
No, he does. He goes down. He hits about 3 different people. He's like,
Yeah.
I may be a mean cuss, but I'm the same mean cuss with all of them. Out there.
Yeah.
You're not helping him by
coddling.
you're crippling him for life.
Crippling.
Crippling him for life.
Especially the young black ones.
Yeah, he was right about that
He's
too.
like, because that world is not going to give
No,
a fuck.
he's not going to give a fuck. And he was right.
There were so many good lines in that
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah. So I know DJ. It wasn't all true.
Still a great movie.
Still agree. And the big gist of it was they did win the championship and they did all that shit did happen.
Say the line.
What?
Rev,
That.
can you run some?
Wait, wait, wait.
Call the play.
What? Oh, so fake 23 players with a backside Georgia first. With a backside Georgia first. Fake 23 blast with a backside Georgia first. Like your life, but have I said I move.
Come on, you got to do better than that.
I am drunk and stoned.
You're not drunk.
I will get.
Oh yeah, you are.
3 of these. What the fuck are you talking about?
Fake 23 blast.
Fake 23.
Fake 23 blast.
Backside.
The backside George reverse. Backside George reverse like your life depended on it. Is that how we did it?
That's how we did it.
Fake 23 blast.
And by the way, that was impromptu. I wasn't ready for this. We didn't debrief
I'm
this.
sorry.
So,
I'm sorry.
By the way, we're an hour in.
But dude, like a couple weeks ago, you did it fucking
But I was ready.
stellar.
I was ready.
And then we also said if we go back and watch it, it's probably not.
Probably totally wrong. probably a toss sweep.
With a backside Herman Ruth reverse.
With a triple ending.
Statue of Liberty. With
boy.
a sweep left. And
Naked boot.
Naked boot.
Like, yeah, no.
We're like, what? I could have sworn he said backside George reverse.
I could have sworn he said fake 23 black.
No, I think you got it. I think you actually have it.
Fake 86 off tackle.
Fake 23.
Yeah.
Fake 23 blast. Yeah. Fake 23 blast.
What I'm trying to think when I played football, what the call was for the reverse. It had a call to it.
Backside George reverse.
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't
like a left to penalty.
It actually had the number. Actually, it had the number of the player that was getting the reverse.
So like fake 23 blast.
No.
Backside 81 reverse.
It would be like fake 24 dive left, which would be the 4 back off the 2 hole with fullback, and then 86 reverse. That's what it would have been called.
So who's backside George?
I don't know.
Well, UCLA is on bum blasting there.
Oh my
It
God!
is 4 scores, folks.
33-7, America. That's in LA, right?
It is 4 scores, isn't it?
It's 4 scores. That's
4 scores, and if you are getting beat by the
it was 4 touchdowns, right? Is that 28 points? No, it's 25. It's almost there.
Fuck.
Almost there. It's close.
But
to
here's
a
the
run
thing:
blast.
if you were getting beat by the Gettysburg Address, 4 scores, it's a bottom blasting.
4 score and 7 bum blastings ago.
And it's funny that we get to the Gettysburg Address because remember that's where they jogged to.
Yeah, Gettysburg.
They jogged to.
And by the way, that too was a great speech.
That was
a.
Unless we come together
right now on
this hollow ground,
we too will perish like they did. That was fucking deep.
We
did that.
We are fighting the same fight.
Yeah,
that they were fighting.
Yeah. Like blood,
what a great movie.
Smoke.
Denzel.
10,000 men died right here on this field. I was like, damn.
What does he say? Like, take it in.
Take it in. It's like, you listen and you take a lesson from the dead.
Yeah, take a lesson.
That was when everybody went, oh, fuck.
Listen,
it was like,
take a lesson from the dead.
Yeah, that was good shit, man, too. That was well played on the wordplay.
That's the type of stuff where it's like, if that
let me guess, DJ, he didn't say that.
Look, well, you never know.
He said, fuck all you ass crackers, get your ass.
He goes, look,
tired of your white ass.
Outside of birds here and sunshine, take all your white ass out because none of you can play. Who was the one guy that got pulled? For fucking
that was what's his nuts? That was
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling,
What was his name?
Mr. Take Your Shirt Off, America. Ryan Gosling.
I mean, that guy had no business on that
Getting
team.
beat like you stole something, sir. You shut up, girl.
Don't you take my boy. You don't take my boy out.
Oh my God, that was great.
Man, that was hilarious.
Getting beat like you stole something. And he was.
Ray was starting left tackle at 180.
Oh my God, that was terrible.
Sorry, Ray. Get your ass out of here.
Get your ass out of here, Ray.
Fucking
racist fuck.
Cunt.
Yeah. Anyway.
But here's my thing. If that Gettysburg thing didn't happen, whoever wrote it is a genius. I mean, because that was such a great parallel to draw and a great way to like when you looked at what was happening and him trying to form a culture of togetherness on that team, whether it was put together, for Hollywood or it really happened, it was brilliant.
Look,
the things he did.
What I can tell you is that in some capacity, something like that did happen.
They won the champ. Like you always said, they won the championship.
Was that real? Then something must have
So
happened.
something good.
Something
happened.
must have happened. How does a team?
Of course, it was not that easy.
This is the problem I have with DJ, because this is where I'm like, did you actually play sports, DJ? Because the thing is, if you have two separate practices going on, there's no way this team, regardless of talent, is winning a championship. A state championship? No, they're not. No, they're not. Regardless of, because you have to develop chemistry. At some point, you have to practice together. And maybe that happened in the beginning, but I refuse to believe that happened all season long. That's impossible. No fucking way that team had two different practices and they suited up together and went out there and just won a championship. They were up. Give me a fucking break. No way. No way. So, at some point, they had to have come together. When it was or how it actually happened, I don't know.
I need to read up on it.
Yeah, but
because we've always had this kind of banter about it, and like we always make fun of what DJ said.
Look, I'm not saying the guy doesn't know the guy and the guy's not telling the truth, but I'm saying, listen, if you're thinking about the ultimate team sport, the one that's the hardest to win a championship in, there's no way that happened for an entire season.
Yeah.
There's no way that happened for a whole season and they win a championship. Oh, by the way, Bertier gets hurt and doesn't play, which, by the way, was true. That did happen. They don't lose their best fucking player and do that. And they didn't practice together for 4 months? No. I think that's partially true. I think the person telling that story embellished a little bit because that's utterly impossible. It's utterly impossible. I've never heard of a fucking story like that anywhere, anytime. So, for any sport. So
this guy who was part of it says the movie stands as a slightly distorted snapshot of their collected spirit. So slightly distorted.
I'm not saying it's all accurate. I'm sure it isn't. But him telling me they never practiced together the entire season? Not even a walkthrough? No fucking way.
It says they accept the liberties that Hollywood took with their story, of which there are many, because in this case, the stubborn facts didn't get in the way of the truth. Both the embellished and oversimplified script and the actual Titan's memory of what really happened carry the same message: the idea of coming together to overcome adversity and accomplish a common goal.
Which apparently they only did on Friday night. Every fucking week.
Right.
That's a hell of a team you got there. That's what happened.
So, whether embellished or not, on some level, to your point, they came together.
They had to. You don't win a state championship in that sport. There's no way if you don't practice together at some point. If you don't come to an understanding, an agreement, a common something.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that isn't partially true. I just don't think it's 100%.
Oh, wow. Listen to this. In 1969, Alexandria Public Schools canceled Friday night football games, so it wasn't every Friday night.
Saturday.
Due in part to vandalism and racial tension, which is why these Titans played their home games on Saturday afternoons.
Oh,
wow.
That's what happened.
So they didn't show how hateful it was outside of it. It must have been bad.
They scaled that back because it's Disney after all.
The flames were reignited a year later when a black 19-year-old named Robin Gibson was shot and killed by a white 7-Eleven employee who suspected Gibson of stealing. Jeez.
This is after they won the championship?
I guess so, yeah. Alexandria was subtle in its racism, but it was also in your face. I remember having to go around to a side window of the restaurant to get food. My God.
Yeah.
This guy's last name is Little John, so he was
there.
He was part of the team.
Yeah.
But the particulars of the movie's narrative begin to diverge from reality within its first few minutes. The film depicts the creation of T.C. Williams High School as ground zero for the city's latest fight, a new school that combined two older institutions, one all black and one all white. The real story involves a little more logistical complexity. T.C. Williams had actually opened as the city's third high school back in 1965. And at that time, all three institutions were already integrated.
Oh.
In 1971, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that busing was a means to further racial and economic desegregation. And Alexandria decided to shuffle its students around. T.C. Williams would accept all the city's juniors and seniors, while the sophomores and freshmen were divided among the other two schools, GW and Francis Hammond. This meant that Alexandria would only field one varsity team instead of three.
No JV, no freshman.
Overnight, 3 teams worth of players had to be combined into one cohesive unit. There was some racial friction in this. Not all 3 schools have been integrated equally in terms of race or class. Francis Hammond, where the wealthier kids had gone, had been more than 90% white. But players remember team colors being a bigger issue between new teammates than skin color. Okay, so the kids from the different schools all stuck together. Like if you were from Francis Hammond, you kind of had your crew.
Mm-hmm.
When they brought the 3 schools together, to me it wasn't a question of black or white. I didn't like that guy because he was my rival, says Bob Luckett, senior offensive lineman for the Titans, who had gone to T.C. Williams for 3 years. I can't tell you that there weren't people on the team who were affected by the race issue. There certainly were. But if you went to T.C. Williams, you grew up disliking Hammond and GW. Today we still talk about who would have had the better team that year.
Had they kept them.
Have they kept them separate? Yeah. Okay, so I mean, some of that's so that doesn't.
Well, they don't tell you all that.
Yeah. It says, in fact, the grueling summer practice depicted in the movie, the 2-a-days and 3-a-days in the punishing August Virginia heat, were likely less about bringing the team together over the color barrier and more about weeding out players who weren't absolutely committed to making the team. Coach Boone wasn't going to cut anybody, says Little John. He was going to run you away. The ones who were not serious, they were running away. By the end of the first week, the weak ones were gone and the strong survived. Interesting.
I won't cut you, but I'll make you quit.
Yeah.
I'll see if you're really serious about it.
Which is kind of a smart way to go.
That's actually a lot of coaches do that.
Yeah.
I didn't cut him. He wasn't committed. What we're going to do today? He's like, nope. Okay, then you're not going to play. So, anyway, that I think is our show.
It is. Yeah, we're way off.
Way off topic.
Okay.
Anyway, we hadn't seen each other in a couple of days. Anyway, you guys hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Enjoy the football tomorrow. We will return Tuesday night for our 300th episode, America. 300 for IDD. So you guys enjoy the weekend. We are on the Christmas watch now. We are exactly 30 days from the big man. So you guys enjoy the weekend. Hopefully the weather gets a little warm where you are. It's getting frigid here. We'll see you Tuesday night. The Redoubtable One, Tom Izzo, Highly Questionable, RJ Miliaccio. We'll see you in about 72 hours.